What's up, everybody? Welcome to another installment of On the Course with Royster. This is a video series where I just go to local disc golf courses in roughly about the Central Ohio area, and I just do a walkthrough or a playthrough. This will be a walkthrough of the course. Today's course, I find myself at the Hilliard Municipal Disc Golf Course, also known as, let me get this right, Roger A. Reynolds Municipal Park Disc Golf Course. So that's kind of a mouthful there, but so for sure I'll call it Hilliard Municipal Disc Golf Course, which is still a lot. But anyway, so I'm going to be out here filming this course, just kind of giving a walkthrough of it. So with that said, let's take a closer look at this board and then start hitting the course. All right. So from the parking area, you will be greeted with this signboard that gives you the layout of the disc golf course. This, of course, is Roger A. Reynolds Municipal Park Disc Golf Course. It's quite a mouthful, and you will see the stats for all the holes there. So I'll zoom on in, and then I'll just kind of come up. Of course, we're going to walk this course and give you a walkthrough. Left of this, as you walk in towards hole 1, you will find a little bit of a practice area so you can practice your shots on. Alright, hole 1 is a par 3. There's your different distances. Let's go ahead and take a quick walk over to show you what the tee pads look like for the pros. Now, I won't be pointing out all of these as I go along, as I'm not a pro and don't play from them personally, but for those who might, now they're not concrete, they're usually sort of like this turf, so that's what they look like. So some are, again, easier to find and spot rather other than others. So let's go back to the tee pad. There's your tee pad, and then just kind of zooming straight out, you will find the disc catcher for hole 1. To give things a different perspective, there's your tee pad, and I'm going to zoom out. And you got this hill, this beautiful body of water with your disc catcher right there. Alright, just kind of showing off the area in there, hole 1. From the disc catcher, just proceed a little to the right and go straight ahead. You'll see a shelter house, and you'll actually see a path that I'm not taking that'll get you to hole 2. Here we have the stats and layout for hole 2, par 3. There's your different distances, kind of your layout. Let's get a visual. We do have concrete tee pad. Again, I will not be showing the pro one, but straight from the tee pad, you'll see the disc catcher. I just want to kind of give a shot of this park. It's a beautiful community park, so you will have a lot of different activities going on. In addition to the water hazard to the left, you also have the street to the right, and where you will then have to cross to find the next tee pad. Alright, here we have hole 3. It's a par 3. There's your distances for pro and amateur, kind of your layout. Again, for the amateur, you got the concrete tee pad, and then just kind of staying on this island, you'll find the disc catcher there through the trees. Kind of give you a close-up of the basket through the trees. Then after you're done getting your disc in the disc catcher, you will proceed to the left, and you'll find the tee pad for hole 4. Hole 4 is a par 3. Here's your distances. Here's your layout. Alright, again, working through for the amateur layout on the concrete tee pad. Now you might not be able to initially see it because straight ahead you see that tree, but if you sidestep, there's your disc catcher. Now to your left, you might want to be mindful of what could be a potential water hazard. Then you have some fencing for the park, so hopefully your disc does not go over there. And then you just have these trees to contend with if you go that way or that route on your way to the disc catcher. From the disc catcher, just kind of spinning around here and then across the parking lot, you'll see the next tee pad. After crossing the parking lot, you will come to hole 5, which is a par 3. There's your distances. There's your layout. And here's your tee pad. And you will be just shooting in between these woods for that disc catcher. Kind of just showing you the area near the disc catcher as I approach it. After your disc reaches the disc catcher, you'll start to work your way back out and around. So coming around the corner, you'll just walk along the tree line here, and you'll find a path to take. You'll work your way around it. You'll see whatever that is, and then to your right, the tee pad for hole 6. You have hole 6, which is a par 3. There are your distances. There's the layout. And here's your tee pad. And we will be you'll be shooting straight and wanting your disc to go right around that tree line. And the disc catcher is somewhere behind there. Alright, there's your tee pad where you were throwing from, and I'm standing out here, and here is the disc catcher that I was speaking of. And then after you make your disc into the disc catcher here, if you look straight ahead, you'll walk straight and you'll find the next tee pad. Here's hole 7, another par 3. There are your distances. There's your layout. Spin around here, your tee pad. And you will be aiming out there. So here's your tee pad. Kind of just going through the trees here. Zoom in, I'm right next to the disc catcher. So when you finally get your disc into the disc catcher here, the easiest thing to do is just to head directly across the street. Once you get across the street, you'll find the sidewalk / path. Just follow it into the woods. As you walk along that said trail, to the right you'll see a little sign that says T8 pointing to the woods. And you'll see the Pro tee pad as you approach. But you'll walk in a ways, and to the right you will find the tee pad for hole 8. Hole 8 is a par 3 with 2 distances, as we saw kind of going in. So this one, you will be in the woods. Here's your tee pad, stepping from the top of the tee pad and just shooting straight out. You'll see the disc catcher. Alright, I'm standing by the disc catcher for hole 8. Just kind of show you some of the wooded area you need to navigate. Now it looks like by this here, they've been doing some tearing down of these woods. But if you just move straight from hole 8's disc catcher, you will follow a trail that'll take you around the right to the next tee pad. Hole 9 is a par 4. There are your distances. There's your layout. Now apparently there is just not as many woods as there used to be. Now you have this trail down here where you could potentially make an approach to left, but it's got a clearing. But if you step to the right, you will actually be able to see the disc catcher. So you will have to maneuver through, try to avoid trees, whichever way you choose to go. So that blue trash can kind of shows you where your tee pad was. Kind of just show you the area around. From the disc catcher on hole 9, as of right now, you can like just look across and see the tee pad, or at least the signpost from where you're standing, but you will have to follow this trail to either get to the pro tee pad, which is that green, or once you turn right, you'll find the tee pad for hole 10. Hole 10 is a par 3. Here are your distances. Here's your layout. Here's your amateur concrete tee pad, and you will see the disc catcher out there. Just kind of showing off the wooded area on your approach to the disc catcher on hole 10. And there's your tee pad. Zoom in out, and there's your disc catcher. So from here you're just going to move straight out to the tee pad that's right outside of the woods. So hole 11 is a par 3. There are your distances. There's your layout. And here's your tee pad. And you will be aiming just kind of straight, looking into those woods in front of you. And you'll see the yellow that will signify the disc catcher. Kind of just want to show you the approach to the disc catcher on hole 11. Kind of surrounded by some tree lines and some woods. And from here you will proceed to the right. You will want to go left on this trail. And as you approach this bridge, right before you get to crossing it, you're going to want to turn left. On this trail, you will see the pro tee pad and the amateur tee pad up front. Just want to take a little bit of a moment to take in this beauty. Hole 12 is a par 3. There are your distances. And after being in the woods for several holes, now you get to contend with water hazards, as you can see to your right at the top of the tee pad. Zooming forward, you see the disc catcher ahead. And if the water hazards weren't enough, you do still need to contend with this line of woods to your left as well. Just trying to get a different perspective from the disc catcher. Just move here. And there's your disc catcher. And then to the right, you will continue to walk along the pond. You actually have the choice of 2 trails, one that's goes right and obviously the other goes left. Let's take this more cool wooded one. And At the end, you will see the Pro T-pad. Show you the other trail. And there's your amateur T-pad. Hole 13 is a par 3. There are your distances. This might be one of the easiest, if not the easiest, shot of the entire course, but just straightforward there. You have your disc catcher. Just showing some of the terrain from the T-pad to the disc catcher. And then once you clean those chains, just proceed to the trail and follow it to your next T-pad, which is up there. To your right, you have some beautiful baseball fields. To your left, there's your distance T-pad. You're just kind of following along a slight tree line. Here's hole 14. It is a par 4. There are your different distances, your layout. Again, here's your T-pad, and you should be able to, looking straight ahead down the way, see your disc catcher. And just kind of giving you some more sense as we get closer to the disc catcher, the terrain you'll be maneuvering through. And then of course, after you get your disc into the disc catcher, you will proceed to your right along the trail to find your next T-pad. Upon exiting the trail and coming into the clearing, you're going to want to take a left, and you will see as you follow this trail the T-pad for the next hole. Hole 15 is a par 3. There are your distances. There's your layout. And here is some more water hazards. And there's your disc catcher. Who doesn't like a good water hazard? We just want to, again, take in the beauty of the park, what it has to offer besides just playing disc golf. Again, besides the water hazard, you still will contend with woods off to your left on your way. Hopefully your disc did not get wet on the way here or survived the ordeal if it did, because guess what, you got some more water hazards to deal with as you move to the next T-pad, which is, as you follow this trail, is just straight up ahead. Again, just taking in the beauty of the water here at the park. And as we're walking by, I'll just show you, there's your distance T-pad, or your Pro T-pad to the left. Your amateur just ahead. Hole 16 is a par 3. There are your different distances. Here's your layout. At the top of your T-pad. And just kind of following that trail straight ahead, you will see your disc catcher not too far from the water, unfortunately. Again, you're not working with a whole lot of clear real estate on your way to the disc catcher, because you still have to contend with woods to the left and water to the right. Standing next to the disc catcher, just kind of want to show you from that perspective the terrain. Here's your disc catcher, and then of course you will follow this trail. It's just off to the left to your next T-pad. Still continuing on that trail. You want to continue to go up here, and it will move from the gravel to this solid trail. And as you can probably see, up front is your tee pad. There, along the way, it's hard to tell, but that's your pro tee with your amateur just ahead. Here are hole 17 stats, par 3. There's your distances. There's your layout. There's your tee pad. You have this nice light pole on the way. If you look straight out there, there is your disc catcher. Besides the woods to the left, you will have to contend with any wayward discs that might go to the right and into the ball field. Alright, so I'm just kind of maneuvering into the slightly wooded area. Nothing too thick unless you go way off to the left. Once your disc arrives at the disc catcher, you're just going to want to go right back out to the paved trail. Just hook a left, and up ahead you'll see the final tee pad of the course. Now to your left on your way to the amateur tee pad, you will see the pro tee pad. And here is your amateur one. Hole 18 is a par 3. There are your stats for both distances. There's your layout. Here's your tee pad. And again, you're working on the edge of the baseball field. Light post in front, but straight ahead is your disc catcher. So I just wanted to give you a sense of the little bit wooded area that the disc catcher on 18 finds itself in. Alright guys, well that pretty much wraps up my walkthrough of the disc golf course here in Hilliard, Ohio. Again, as I mentioned and as I highlighted and as you've seen, if you've stayed throughout this video, there's a lot of variety on this course. I like it a lot. I just think that it's a beautiful course to just walk and you know, spend a couple hours out in. As far as playing, it's a fun course to play, but you know, for me, at my skill level, it gets a little bit stressful around the water areas. But you know, so that's just something to take, and you know, and it just comes with the territory, so to speak. And so anyways, and so again, besides water, you also have you know, some wooded area, and you have some open area as well. So again, a lot of variety, fun course. I would definitely recommend it to any disc golf player. So with that said, I'm going to sign off, and until the next course, take care. Peace.